property circles is about grouping together to pool your resources to buy property. So whether it's friends and family, whether it's people that you don't know, whether it's going into a development or renovation, it's all about pulling that money and going into a structure where it's kind of protecting you from individuals and allows you to invest in property together. So why we have Mark here is that quite a number of the circles that have started have put in the capital. So usually at least 20% of the deposit the property amount. And then some of them have, for the remainder amount, gone to a lender and got that remaining amount from the bank or someone, so or another provider. And so we wanted to speak to Mark about how that happens. What's the best way to kind of tackle that? Is there pre-approval? All these kind of questions that we get asked. And so we would love to speak to you, Mark. So welcome, Mark.
Thank you. And
Mark's from Yellow Brick Road. So Mark, just tell us a little bit about Yellow Brick Road and what you do there.
Perfect. Thank you. So my name is Mark. I am a mortgage broker with Yellow Brick Road. Yellow Brick Road was founded in 2007 by Mark Burris. So essentially we have branches all over Australia. So each one of those branches is owned by a small business owner. And our goal is to get mortgages for people. So help customers get into their dream home or dream investment property. And my role really is help everyone along that journey and to make it hopefully with at least bumps in the road as possible, and to provide all the information for customers and make sure, one, they're getting a great opportunity, a great deal, but also knowing what they're getting into as well and all the terms and conditions, and hopefully working with them in the future to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 properties along the process and helping them that way.
That sounds good. And you mentioned previously that you at Yellow Brick Road work with over 40 lenders. Can you tell me a bit about that?
Certainly, yeah. So the benefit of using a mortgage broker such as Yellow Brick Road is we have access to over 40 different lenders on our panel at the moment. So it's fantastic. So what that means is, one, there's no set clear provider that we could use or lender. So the great thing is there's a heap of different options for customers. So that the benefit there now is that we can find loans to suit people rather than the other way around. So, and also there's multiple different options that people can look at, and rates and benefits and providers, as well as bespoke offerings where they're just outside of the norm as well. So we have those opportunities to do that as well.
Excellent. Okay, great. And so you've heard obviously, like Mark's been involved in some of the property circles that we've set up. And so can you tell me about the process of getting a home loan when you're buying a property through a property circle? I can't get my words out.
Yeah, so that's all right. All good. So essentially with my property circle, what's happened is people will come together and set up a trust as such. So there'd be, say, for instance, 5 people in that trust. Then underneath, they would set up a company to do that. So this is just a 101, just quick little demo on this one. So with that, what would happen is the company would then set up a director or 2 directors to run that company and provide the shareholdings as such within that company. And then looking at from a mortgage broking point of view, what would happen is the 2 directors would then be the guarantors on that loan. So essentially what we need is details of those individuals to actually provide to lenders and actually go back and ask the question in regards to, what kind of information do we need from the trust or the company in terms of that. There is a few bits and pieces we need to go through, but that's fine. That's all my role to help everyone along the journey. Okay,
great. And so that's kind of the fact-finding side of things. And then so just say that someone's wanting to set up a property circle, they haven't yet, but they kind of want to get all their ducks in a row. So they've gone to the accountant, they've gone to the financial planner, they've said, yep, this is the right structure for me. Can they come to you to get pre-approval, knowing that they're going to do a property circle?
Yeah, definitely. Yep. And that's probably one of the big advices I'd say to everyone is seek out a mortgage broker to actually go through the process and actually look at a pre-approval for a loan amount, because then that helps you decide with your borrowing capacity as well. So with that, you'd have a limit of where you could purchase to with a pre-approval, and that allows you to go out in the market and purchase a property and then come back to us. The biggest thing is just probably getting advice and actually looking at all the different options available for you.
Okay, great. And so what are the lenders looking for from the director? Like what are the things that they want to see?
Yeah, certainly. Yep. So number one thing is, as you said before, 20% deposit, fantastic. Yep. That's what a lot of lenders really like. You don't go into the lender's mortgage insurance for that part, but then also servicing the loan as well. So in terms of that, my role is a bit of fact finding from the directors and actually getting some information about the financials, assets, liabilities, and going through that process with them, and just working out, one, servicing the loan, can they do it? But also as a guarantor on the loan, they just have to realise that if the property cannot make the repayments, then they would be liable for that as well. So it's just a bit of terms and conditions we need to make sure. But it's the same with anything on guarantoring.
Yeah. Okay, great. And so the lender is lending to the director of the company. So can you tell me about a little bit about the company and how the lenders view that?
Yeah, certainly. So what they look at for the company is the company as a trustee is a non-trading company. So essentially what that means is there's no creditors or debtors or any income coming into that company. So it's essentially just set up to purchase the property. So that's a big thing about that, that we just need to make sure that, yes, that's the only purpose for that company. And then a lot of the lenders will look at that. However, we still need to go back to a few of them and just ask a few questions. And that's my role, to work with the banks and just to find out the best practice or best way for them, to see the loan as such. Okay,
great. Excellent. And so three key things to securing a home loan. What would you put them down to?
Certainly. I'd probably think of looking at your long-term and future goals. That's probably the big thing, where you want to be at. Do you want to buy 1, 2, 3? And then looking at your, setting the goals as such. And that's where I can help as well. 2, definitely seeking financial advice from an accountant or financial advisor, just to see the best way to set up the My Property Circle.
Yes.
And definitely that's 101. And then the mortgage broker. Speak to someone like myself and get advice on what type of loans you should be searching for. We can look at fact finding and look at all the different options for directors for that company. But also going through, this is your first property. Then we're looking at the second, third, fourth, fifth. This is what we need to look at in terms of the company and what are the regulations and T's and C's we just need to be aware of there. Because the big thing that I like to say is I like to help people on the process. So it's not just one loan. It's been there to help them out with the second, third and refinancing, getting better deals, but also helping people pay off their mortgage quicker. That's what everyone wants to do. They want to own their own home.
Yes. The Australian dream.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And investment property too. Let it work for you, not the other way around.
Yeah. And then a sneaky question. So why do you think My Property Circles is a good idea?
I think it's a great idea, especially in the market at the moment. It's so hard to purchase an investment property by yourself. And I think with the best thing is with 5 individuals help going into a trust and building a company and buying a property, you can buy properties all over Australia. As they say, the best thing to do is to buy in different areas, but you can have 4 or 5, 6 properties in no time. And the hardest thing is getting into an investment property.
I agree.
And just getting the servicing and then the loan from the banks as well. But everyone's circumstances are different, and that's what I think everyone in the trust just needs to be aware of. And we just need to make that in account as well.
Yeah. And I guess it's just a way of creating diversification in your portfolio, sharing that risk and hopefully the reward.
Yeah. Enjoying in the reward. Definitely.
Yeah.
Especially in the Sydney market and the cities, like the property market's pretty crazy at the moment. And to have help with that is just, fantastic.
Yeah, agree. Without any questions, Mark and I are obviously available to answer any questions. So please either contact myself or Mark at Yellow Brick Road. I think we've got our details coming up soon. Love to hear from you. Please get in touch with Mark if you're interested about getting pre-approval. He's here to help. We would love to hear from you about setting up a property circle and how we can do that. So if you don't have any more questions, thank you so much, Mark, for joining us. And that was really good. And I think information that everybody will really like hearing, because I know it's a lot of questions that I get asked a lot. So really important to hear it out. And I think that, as we've said before, that best to speak to your accountant, your financial planner, and your mortgage broker about joining a property circle. And everybody have a wonderful weekend. We're in lockdown at the moment, but the sun's shining at least. So
the Olympics is on, so that's great.
And the Olympics are on. And
really good watching at the moment.
That we've just won 2 more gold, so that's good.
Yeah,
so have a wonderful weekend, and thanks for joining us.
Thanks all.